NAFDAC procures fake drug detector machines worth $2.45 million. And this is coming from the CSOs. Violence, religious leaders should speak against perpetrators. NNPC prospects for oil in Niger, Borno. Doctors threaten to shut hospitals over colleagues' murder. And the Minister of Labour says Buhari not responsible for hunger and poverty. Again, relative attacks medical worker over dead patients. 25 buyers invited for Polaris Bank sales. That is from the CBN. And from sports, Ronaldo versus Ihalo, who will emerge Saudi goals king. Earl reveals Joshua return now in April. Lawal battles Souza for UBO title. These and more will be brought to you in a moment. Please stay tuned. Top of the morning to you there, listener of OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, Iliawiye Okebale Oshobo, Voice of the West, and welcome to today's edition of Headlines. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola, and with me in the studio is Temitope Olajuwola. Good morning. Now let's get to the business of the day. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control said it has procured no fewer than 43 Truscan scanning equipment worth $2.45 million to check the quality and quantity of drugs produced and imported into the country. It also said it would reach World Health Organization maturity level 4 and world listed authority status by the first quarter of 2024 as its new initiative to enable global trade of Nigerian-made pharmaceuticals through collaborative registration with other regulatory agencies, among others. A TrueScan is a handheld device used for on-the-spot detection of counterfeit medicines. It allows regulators and law enforcement agents to conduct field-based screening of pharmaceutical samples to quickly and accurately identify counterfeits. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, disclosed this at a press conference held on Wednesday in Abuja.
The Petroleum Tanker Drivers Branch of National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, PTD NUPENG, has threatened to stop loading petroleum products nationwide by Monday next week over harassment of its members by security agents. The drivers, who are aggrieved over the burning of 2 tankers driven by its members, accused security agents, particularly the military task force operating in the Port Harcourt zone, of high-handedness. National Chairman of the PTD NUPENG, Comrade Lucky Osesua, in a statement in Abuja, explained that the military task force operating in Port Harcourt burnt 2 trucks conveying high-profile oil, HPFO, otherwise known as black oil, on Tuesday night, as the truck drivers were falsely accused of transporting crude oil.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is prospecting for crude oil in more locations across the north after discovering the commodity in Bauchi and Gombe states. NNPC stated that it was currently taking coordinated steps for more frontier exploration in the region as part of measures to shore up the country's oil output and reserves. The company said in a document made available to reporters on the Frontier Exploration Services activities of the NNPC from 2020 to 2022. The document outlined some prospective states where oil was expected to be discovered by the NNPC to include Niger, Nasarawa, Sokoto, Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Bauchi and Gombe. Beyond the north, the Anambra Basin was listed as another area where the NNPC was striving to find more oil.
A high court of the Federal Capital Territory has quashed the allegations of fabricated false assets declaration against the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu. The court went ahead to bar security agencies from investigating him over his valid assets declaration in an originating summons by Somadina Uzoa Baka against the Attorney General of the Federation and the Professor Mahmood Yakubu. The claimant sought, among other things, an order of mandatory injunction directing and compelling the INEC chairman to recuse, excuse and exclude himself and or step down as the chairman of INEC pending the investigation and consideration of the various allegations against him by the various law enforcement agencies.
The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, has berated former President Olusegun Obasanjo for criticizing President Muhammadu Buhari in his New Year letter to Nigerians. The former Anambra State Governor said the four major contenders for the presidency have the requisite and cognate experience to manage the affairs of the country, and he will not campaign for or against any of them. Ngige, who spoke to journalists in his hometown of Alo in the mainly South local government area of Anambra State on Wednesday, named the presidential candidates as Alhaji Abubakar Atiku of the People's Democratic Party, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and Alhaji Rabiu Kwankwaso of the New Nigeria People's Party. Still on the same story, he claimed that the current administration should not be blamed for the country's food and energy crisis because they are occurring all over the world, not just in Nigeria. Meanwhile, Ngige faulted Obasanjo's claim that Nigeria has fallen far behind where it was at the start of his presidency in 1999. You recall that while serving as the governor of Anambra State, the same Obasanjo, who was then president, said he was going to construct the second Niger Bridge but failed to do so owing to a lack of commitment.
And Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, said yesterday that the federal government was borrowing money to fund petrol subsidies, insisting that the subsidy regime had become totally unsustainable. Ahmed, who disclosed that these are the public presentation of details of the 2023 budget in Abuja, said petrol subsidy will remain up to mid-2023 based on the 18-month extension announced early 2022. In this regard, only 3.36 trillion naira has been provided for the PMS subsidy.
Procurement of fake drug detector machines worth $2.45 billion by NAFDAC is going to be our talking point on today's edition of Headlines, and we would like to know your views and contributions by dialing 0818-777-5777.
A medical doctor, Mrs. Oyebimpe Akimbumi, on Wednesday told an Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court how one Dr. Olufemi Olaleye allegedly defied his wife's 16-year-old niece. It was reported that the medical director of the Cancer Care Foundation is facing a 2-count charge of defilement and sexual assault by penetration. He, however, pleaded not guilty.
The Nigerian Medical Association South Zone has threatened to shut down all hospitals in Delta State to protest against the murder of one of its members, Dr. Uyi Lobe, by gunmen who attacked his hospital, Olive Clinic at Ogereke in the Ethiopia West local government area on New Year's Eve. The chairman, NMA Edo State branch of the South Caucus, Dr. Udoka Umosili, and Secretary, NMA Edo State branch of South Caucus, Dr. Collins Otohila, in a statement on Tuesday threatened to commence a 1-week shutdown of hospital in the state.
And former governor of Imo State, Ikedi Ohakim, whose convoy was attacked and 4 police officers killed on Monday, said it was his bulletproof car that saved him. If not, the gunmen would have wanted to kill him and his 2 children in the vehicle. Ohakim revealed this to newsmen yesterday while narrating his ordeal on how the gunmen attacked him in a place called Umwa Lumaku between Isiala Mbano and Ehime Mbano local government areas of Imo State.
And procurement of fake drug detector machines worth $2.45 million by NAFDAC is what we are looking at today on today's edition of Headlines. And we would like to know your view by calling 081 777 5777. That is the effect of the machine on the health sector in the country.
The Lagos State Police Command has identified Inspector Ime Johnson as the officer who allegedly shot and killed Gafaru Burhaimo on December 7, 2022 in Ajah, Lagos. Inspector Johnson is attached to the Ajah division of the force.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Akin from you.
You're welcome.
I'll give all the important to do that. Everything all this debate for economic and oil and gas in this country want to be taken out completely because they are increasing the rate of we are increasing of the petroleum since the day.
No, we are not. No, that's not the topic for today's headline.
Foremost maritime operator and former Minister of Interior Emmanuel Iheanacho has said opportunities still abound in the nation's maritime industry despite the global economic meltdown. Speaking with newsmen in his Lagos office, Iheanacho explained that there were also many potential investors willing to invest in the industry, while appealing to government to provide more policy support and incentives for the industry. He said the maritime industry has been challenging for operators, but there is no shortage of activities and opportunities in the sectors. As long as people continue to trade, they would continue to require the use of ships, the use of ports.
Consumer credit fell month on month by 1.3% to 2.37 trillion naira in October 2022 from 2.4 trillion naira in September 2022. The Central Bank of Nigeria disclosed this in its October 2022 economic report, noting that the development in consumer credit was as a result of a 0.2% decline in personal loans during the period. This reflects the effect of the CBN monetary policy tightening during the period. It will be recalled that in September, the regulator raised the monetary policy rate to 15.5% from 14% in an aggressive move to fight inflation in the country. The cash reserve ratio was also increased to a minimum of 32.5% from 22.5%, while liquidity ratio was retained at 30%.
The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, has called on the federal government to sustain its interventions in critical sectors of the economy to prevent the country from going into economic recession in 2023. The Director General, LCCI, Dr. Chinyere Almona, made the call in a statement made available to newsmen on projecting the nation's economic outlook for 2023, adding that there is need for sound monitoring and evaluation over the budget allocations.
Morning.
I'm the one calling actually I was away from you. What is exactly the product for this today edition of Fitness?
He said, what are we taking a look at?
Yes, we are taking a look at the procurement of a fake medicine detector machine by NAFDAC, and it cost $2.45 million, at the effect of that on the health sector of the country.
Yeah, the lead point for this is to focus on the highly technology to develop the science and education of this country. They must focus on the new machine and to reach all those safety zones they are using in this country. The more to detect it and then show how the movement of this counterfeit drug will take out this country. If you want it, it's not alright, that's what I will do.
Alright, thanks for your contribution.
And moving ahead this morning, we're moving to sports. FIFA chief Gianni Infantino insisted on Wednesday he would never be disrespectful to Pelé as he came under fire over a photo call at the Brazilian legend's wake. Infantino took a selfie with some of Pelé's old teammates on Monday right beside the open coffin of the three-time World Cup winner. The Swiss said he took the photo as Pelé's friends seemed unable to operate their mobile phones.
Anthony Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn has confirmed that the former two-time unified heavyweight champ is expected to return to the ring early April. The bout will launch an active year that is expected to end with a long in-demand super fight with the fellow former title holder. According to Hearn, he wants to return to the ring with the top 15 guy revealed during his weekly appearance on some television stations, then in the summer probably versus Dillian White, and then a mega fight with Deontay Wilder.
Southampton welcomed fellow relegation-threatened side Nottingham Forest to the St. Mary's Stadium on Wednesday evening, as both sides know a win today would be key to their quest for survival in the Premier League. This will be the first meeting between the sides in any competition since the 2011-2012 championship campaign, when Southampton won home and away. Saints suffered an agonizing 2-1 defeat to Fulham in their last game, while Steve Cooper's side deservedly had a 1-1 draw against Chelsea.
It will be a big night for Nigerian and Turkish professional boxing on Saturday, February 11 in Istanbul. Turkey as the undefeated and current African Boxing Union champion Rilwan Lawal. Nigeria goes to battle with the undefeated Tariq Souza of Turkey for the UBO Intercontinental Lightweight title. Lawal, who fights under Nigeria's leading boxing promotional and management company, Sadi Gloves Promotion, is ready to take another big step in his professional career and in the rankings of world boxing by becoming the new UBO Intercontinental Champion after being ranked number 36 featherweight in the world back in October by the World Boxing Council.
Real Madrid are celebrating German midfielder Toni Kroos as he turns 33 today. Kroos has won 18 trophies for Los Blancos since joining from Bayern Munich in 2014. The German midfielder arrived at Real Madrid in the summer of 2014 and is now in his 9th season with the team. He has made 384 appearances and scored 26 goals.
And let's quickly take this from the entertainment world. American singer Robert Sylvester Kelly, popularly known as R. Kelly, has had new allegations leveled against him, stating he married and silenced 15-year-old Aaliyah and her family through a non-disclosure agreement. According to reports, the recent accusations were made the episode of Surviving R. Kelly on Lifetime, which will be aired on January 2 and 3. The 2022 federal trial of R. Kelly, which the NDA was used to as evidence in, was the focus of Dosu's Jane Doe. Number 1 in the trial was the late Aaliyah. After years of the media and music industry scandalizing her marriage to the now convicted artist in the 1990s, Surviving R. Kelly uses Aaliyah's tale to highlight her as a victim of R. Kelly.
You're welcome. And that's a wrap this morning on headlines. It has been the duo of
Olubumi Ajiboye Agbuola
and Temitope Olajuwola on behalf of the production advisor
Abimbola Babatunde
and the producer of this program,
Motorayo Ayegbayo.
We are saying bye. Have a pleasant day.